Good morning, everybody. It's Graham once again from Unearthed and another episode of Detecting Talk. Now, this episode is going to be quite interesting, I think, because there's a growing... I'm a little bit concerned, only a little bit concerned about the hobby in general, how it's turning out, how people behave, how individuals conduct themselves within the hobby in groups and as individuals themselves. And I think my message here in this film is going to be pretty plain and simple, hopefully. And the message is going to be, stick with the true detectorists out there, because there's a growing number of people coming into the hobby that have no clue what they're doing. They have no regard for anybody, landowners, fellow detectorists. They're all over social media, falling out with whoever. It's getting rather tiresome now. So I'm seeing a lot of, we're quite active on social media because we've got the Unearthed Facebook groups and pages. And without blowing our own trumpet too much, we have a fantastic group of admin individuals on there that pretty much keep it clean and tidy. And we do it purely because we're detectorists and we want to keep it like that. We want to make sure that the detectorists, or the pure, proper detectorists out there, are the ones that we've got on the groups and the pages. No celebrities, no people advertising their goods, no people advertising second-hand or dodgy machines, no people looking for self-promotion, no people looking to promote their YouTube channel for a few quid. We keep everything clean and tidy. However, that doesn't stop people still trying it on. And last week and the week before last, I had an email of two separate individuals asking if they could have a free metal detector. Can I have a free metal detector? Hello, Unearthed. I'm looking at a particular brand of machine that I want to try and promote for you as a business and a hobby. Is there any chance of you giving me a free metal detector so I can go off and do YouTube videos? I'm currently working with another dealer, which I am unhappy with, and I'm looking for a new venture. Now, you've got to sit back and think about it with a wry smile. They've probably been in the hobby 2 or 3 years maximum. Without blowing my own trumpet too much, without sounding patronising to anybody, I've probably forgot more than they know in a couple of months. But what worried me about both emails was the similar thread and similar theme. Even though they were two different individuals, they both basically said the same thing, and they're basically wanting or trying to scrounge a free machine. Now, they've already been given a free machine off another dealer. They've probably already had 2 or 3 different machines off other dealers to promote. And now they're bored of that individual or they're bored of that dealership and they want to try it on with somebody else. Well, the message is quite clear. You ain't going to get any free machines off Unearthed, and you ain't going to get any free machines off me as individually. It doesn't happen. We promote Unearthed because Unearthed is a business. We don't want anybody else doing it. We don't trust too many of these celebrity types out there that are just after fame and fortune, and we certainly ain't going to give a brand new machine away worth X amount of pounds. We've done it in the past. We've been bitten and burnt in the past, giving away free machines. The promotions never happen. It doesn't work. Certainly doesn't work for us. That's why we have this YouTube channel and our social media groups and other forms of advertisement that we do, if that's the right word. We certainly don't need these celebrity fools out there trying to promote themselves more than anybody else. So it just doesn't happen. But it's the blasé nature of the way these people promote themselves and put the emails across. So I suppose in a nutshell, I mean, some of the guys are probably going to be watching this and be slightly embarrassed, but I mean, I'm obviously not going to name names because I'm not like that. But the thing is, at the end of the day, there's a growing number of these people out there trying it on with dealers. Some dealers are doing it all the time. I blame some of the dealers actually for letting these people do it. They run amok. I mean, the amount of times we've had over the years people trying to get free machines to promote, they haven't. I've watched the videos of these people and I just cringe. They haven't got a clue. Some of them dig up coins and don't even know it's a hammered coin. Some people dig up artifacts, they haven't got a clue what it is. So the last thing I want to be doing is putting detectors in the hands of people that have got very little knowledge in the detecting game. But it'd be interesting to hear from some of you guys if you've come across these individuals, or you may have heard of them and read about them and everything else. It's just a bit embarrassing that the hobby is turning in such a way that there's more and more of these individuals coming out of the woodwork. And what also I find is, to my horror, is a lot of these individuals stick together like birds of a feather, stick together, as they say, and they all seem to be on the same groups. They all seem to be following each other, and they all seem to be contacting each other, and maybe promoting each other in a weird and wonderful way. My philosophy on detecting is keep it detecting related. If you're on the fringes of trying to make money out of detecting for whatever reason, you're not actually doing the business out in the fields and enjoying the hobby as it should be, but you're still active on the groups and sniffing around and seeing what little bits of tidbits you can pick up off gossip and other forms of entertainment. Well, it's completely wrong. We don't need people like that in the hobby. That's why Unearthed is for the Detectorists. We only have Detectorists at heart. That's why we run our groups as we do. If our groups we allowed everybody in our Facebook groups, for example, we'd have thousands. We'd have 20, 30,000. Honestly, we would. We turn down more than we let in. We don't allow people promoting magazines. Why give free publicity out for these magazines? They don't do anything back for us. Not a bean. So it ain't going to happen. So this is more of a bit of a rant than anything, but I'm just seeing a growing number of people coming into the hobby that think they can get instant fame and fortune, and I think it's completely wrong. I really do. Earn your stripes, folks. Get out there detecting. Enjoy the hobby. If you want to showcase your finds, do it. It's fantastic to do that. But don't try to make money off dealerships and people like us, honest businesses, small businesses like me, by trying to scrounge free machines. It's just ridiculous. You can't drum up the sales. If people want a particular machine, they're not going to be swayed by some idiot dancing around on YouTube and Facebook or whatever else. They want hard facts. They want the knowledge behind the machine. That's why we do the test videos. That's why we do the videos on certain machines, showing people what they look like, what they perform like, their appearance and the features. You don't want to be seeing people burying coins and then digging them up six minutes later or whatever to try to fool people that they've been found. It just doesn't work that way. There's a lot of fools out there, but there's not a lot of people that fall for it. That's the good news. So my advice to everybody out there is stick with the Detectorists. For God's sake, stop following these idiots. There's too many of them coming into the hobby, and it absolutely grinds my gears. So that is my little rant over with. But the next topic is detecting related, you'll be glad to know. I had a visit of a gentleman last week who bought a detector from us. Very nice, kind gentleman. Very sincere in the way he detects. And he was telling me a story which was quite interesting, that he'd been given permission on a particular area of pasture, and it had cows on. So the farmer had let the cows on there to graze, and he'd obviously this gentleman had been on detecting. And everything was fine. He found a few bits and pieces, enjoyed his time, and then decided to go back to the field and see the farmer a few days or a few weeks later, only to find in his horror that the farmer was a little bit displeased, to say the least, about holes being left open. Now, this particular detectorist is very thorough and precise about his detecting, so he makes sure all his holes are filled in correctly. He doesn't even dig a plug out, he leaves a flap so it can just be pushed back over and stamped down nicely. But because of the hot weather, the dry weather, and the cows out there, what he was doing was he was retrieving an object, a coin or artifact, or a bit of junk out of the hole, doing what was right, stamping the hole back down, the flap, making sure it was all bedded down and neat. But the cows were coming along later that day, and because a cow is a powerful animal, as we all know, the cow was actually lifting the sods back up as it was grazing and leaving them strewn all over the field. And of course the farmer, when he goes round and checks the cattle periodically, was seeing these holes all over the field, and had a bit of a dim view of the detectorist. Now, he did apologise and said, listen, the farmer was a decent guy, he understood, but it does make you think when you're detecting on pasture with cows, you've got to be ultra careful, because they will lift the sods back up. There's no two ways about it. My advice here is, if you can, wait till the cows go back in October, November, then get out onto the fields and detect. It's difficult detecting in amongst cattle anyway, without them lifting the sods back up. I'm not being funny or anything, but the cows aren't going to stamp them back down. They're only interested in munching on the top part of them. So it's something to learn. I mean, it's happened to me in the past, actually, way back in the 90s when we used to do a lot of pasture work. One farmer played hell with me for leaving the holes open on the top. I said, well, no, come and have a look how I dig a hole. I showed him. He said, the cows are lifting them up. That's what it must be. So he understood, but it was quite embarrassing at the time for me and my detecting partner to see all these holes left open, strewn across the field, and it's obviously still happening. So the only way to combat it, folks, is don't detect in amongst the cattle. Leave the fields alone until the cattle are put back in the sheds for winter. Then get out in the field. You'll have a better, you'll have a better time of it anyway. The moisture levels will be up, and the ground will be a lot more suitable for detecting anyway at that time of the year. And of course, you haven't got the cows to worry about bothering you and lifting the sods back up. So something to be careful, folks. I'm sure some of you guys out there have come across this before. It'd be interesting to know your thoughts on it. Let me know on some of the comments below. They're always welcome. Remember that. You guys have some terrific feedback on this YouTube channel. You really do, and it's really enjoyable for me to read them and respond to them also. But just a word of warning with the cows. Just be careful. They do lift the sods back up, and probably other grazing farm animals will do it as well. Goats, maybe sheep, but cows are the main culprit. So I hope that is of interest to you guys. I'm sure it will be. Now, just before we disappear, let me just remind you guys that I watched this the 28th of September. We're probably about a month away now from the Mine Lab event here in Cumbria. Dalton in Furnace is the venue. We've got acreage, we've got the marquees, we've got the tokens ready, we've got the prizes. Hopefully, fingers crossed, we'll have the new machines to show people. You're more than welcome. There's 45 to 50 people in attendance. We only need 10 or 15 more and it's going to be full. Food on the day. Who can resist a freebie? So you're more than welcome to come along, drop me a message, I'll send you some more details. Now the one or two people are saying, oh, we need to stay overnight for accommodation. Just remember, 10 o'clock in the morning start, 3 to 4 o'clock in the afternoon finish. You may not need accommodation overnight because it starts at 10 o'clock, gives people ample time to travel, depending how far you are away. You know, it'd be nice to think that, you know, some of you guys are going to be travelling from sort of Lancashire, Cumbria, Yorkshire, Scotland, places like that. You know, I'm pretty sure you can do it in that time constraints. But of course, you want to stay overnight, you can always ring the office up and we can give you some recommendations to find some suitable accommodation. So thanks for watching, folks. I'll be detecting this weekend, so watch out for the film. Thanks very much for watching the last film where Eddie found that wonderful Saxon brooch and I got the fantastic Denarius and Gaz got his hammered. It was a great day in the heat. We fully enjoyed it. There'll be another one coming this weekend. Hopefully, fingers crossed, it won't be as warm. But you can't control the weather, can we, folks? So thanks for watching, everybody. Bye for now.